Hey everyone, welcome to a new park showcase video. Now on the park that I'm going to be showing you today is America Park, which in the description was mentioned as being the answer to Europa Park, but American of course. Now this park was made by several creators. I will list their names right here now. Now, I haven't taken a good look at the park yet, so I don't really know what to expect, except that the park is huge. So let's go take a look. Alright, as you can see, it's a really big park full of coasters. Now, I don't really know where to start. A good start would probably be to find the entrance. I think it's down here in this corner of the map. So we can see this big roundabout over here. Here we can see a parking lot. Looks like some public transport over here. A really nice entrance building here with some of these balloons from the expansions. I think they actually work pretty well here. Big fountain here in the middle. Now this park was mostly just casual play. Many players actually joined in, and I guess they all contributed something to the park. And most parks that get made don't even progress past 10 or 20%. So any finished park is really an accomplishment in my opinion. Yeah, some nice buildings over here. Here we can see a little seating area on this with this pier right next to the water. Here we can already see a coaster passing over the water. Yeah, it looks like some kind of launch coaster over here. I think it looks pretty cool. Gets launched up this vertical top hat. Then it goes over the entrance path here. Very long diagonal here. Now, the thing with diagonals is they always look dumb from two angles, and they look good from two other angles. Yeah, I think this is definitely pretty nice looking, and definitely some nice interaction here with the entrance path. Now over here, this looks like the actual entrance gates where the guest tickets get checked. Some nice structures over here with some cool looking roofs. Another little fountain here. Now, not really sure if we can actually see some states or American places, which several sections have been themed to, but I guess we'll find out about that soon enough. Over here we have this three-way dueling steeplechase. I quite like these colors. The layout also looks, think it looks really nice. These supports are also really nicely done. Some cool looking buildings right next to it. I see a sign saying Bourbon Street here, so this must be New Orleans. I've actually been to New Orleans once myself for work, and I definitely recognize this style of buildings. Also like this little flat right here. Kind of looks like the cars for a Condor, but on ground level. Now, over here we have a water park. So with a coaster in the background, this kind of looks maybe a Grand Canyon themed. But yeah, the water park, you can see this lazy river here. Looks like they also used a custom vehicle for a swimming pool. Also pretty nice. And I think it's actually 2 tracks for the lazy river, so the boats can take different paths. I think that's also a nice detail. Everything's really nicely decorated as well. Yeah, over here on the background, this looks like a Morgan hypercoaster. This one's called the Alamo. I believe that was a research center or something, where they did work on the nuclear bomb, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's quite a cool looking support structure for this coaster. I always love building Morgan hypercoasters. They're always such a nice striking feature in the park, and their layouts are just simple, and they're really easy to build. So it's really nice seeing these huge towering coasters with their incredible support structures. And then usually for the rest of the layout, the lower part, it's just simple pillars. But these pillars also look really cool. And I also really like how these canyon pieces here are used. So yeah, so far already a really fun map to go through. Now I cannot possibly cover everything there is to see in the park in this video. So you can download the park from the Park Showcase channel on my Discord if you want to check it out for yourself. Now this looks like a big show building. We have some orcas swimming around here, so this would be like a whale show. Yeah, I think that's also pretty cool. I really like how they did these grandstands here. Also with these color gradients here, so it actually looks like this part is in the shadow. That's really cool. And I also love how they did the stage here. Maybe it would have been nice to have some entertainers on the stage here. Or maybe actually some guests here on the grandstands. But yeah, the park's already huge, so they probably already had enough trouble finishing it as it is. Now, I quite like the style of these buildings here. Yeah, a nice themed area here. Here we can see another coaster. This looks like a water coaster. I'm not going to follow it all the way around, but I assume... Oh, damn. Look at this. Looks like a whole elevator coming up here. And here there's a boat popping out of it. That's such an amazing trick. Wow. Yeah, a boat drops down here, goes over this airtime hill, and then it pops out here into the water. Now, I have no idea how they did this, but that's really cool. They must have synchronized this with the boats. Oh yeah, I'm really impressed by this. This is really cool. This park was also worked on by some of the people in my community who usually score really well. So it's no surprise that we see some amazing tricks in this park. Also a beautiful building over here. And also there's this huge wooden coaster, which also has a loop. So it really also reminds me of Son of Beast. So that was probably the inspiration for this wooden coaster. Fight House. More like Son of Fight House. And this is the White House, but then renamed to the Fight House. Interesting. So this must be the Washington DC themed area. So this must be the Capitol building. Library topper. Now over here in the middle we have it looks like a big maze. Now I followed the guests around a bit and they only walk around in certain paths, so a lot of these paths are actually fake. And since it's such a huge maze, yeah, if the guests could use all these paths, they would probably take several in-game decades to actually get out. So this is probably a good design choice. But yeah, I like how the maze just encompasses this entire area here with all these other rides. So this swing ride in the middle, several tower rides around here, and also this big coaster traveling around called Scarecrow. Also like this scarecrow that they put here in the middle. That's another really fun detail. It looks like this is a wing coaster. So it gets launched here, kind of like Thunderbird. Then goes up this big loop here. It passes through this little building here. And there's this Immelman. There's a 0G roll. There's another helix. And then finally it reaches the final brake run here. But yeah, really cool design. I also see some big flowers here. I'm not really sure what they used to make these big plants. Let me quickly check. Palm tree. Oh, is this? Ah, they used some recolorable. Interesting. So they used these recolorable flowers, but with flowers invisible, and they used a recolorable palm tree to make the stem. So let me see if I can recreate this. So we would place a few of these, like so. And then we place a recolorable palm tree. Very nicely done. I'm learning some tricks here as I go through the park as well. So, see a simple boomerang here, quite nicely decorated as well. I also really like how they did the pathing here with these curved walls around. And these, I think these are metal floors, but because of the palette, they look like this. Yeah, that's some crazy palette shenanigans with some really weird grays, which allowed them to make it look like these metal blocks are actually just asphalt. But it works really well to make them follow along a bit with these curves. Especially with these triangular pieces here, it's much easier to follow the curve of these guardrails on the side. Oh yeah, pretty neat trick. Now, over here we can see a more rocky area. Here's a big coaster, which is a flying coaster, I believe, Skyline Soar. Some really impressive support work over here. I also like how they used this texture for the circus ride to actually make the floor here. That's also really clever. This really nice texture. I haven't really used it that much in my parks, but maybe I should make more use of it more often. This looks pretty neat. Now over here we have a big cityscape with flaming taxes. This ride is called Capitalisms Blight. Not really sure which city this is. Must be New York or Las Vegas, looking from all the buildings. BM Records. Subway Surfer. I'm just going to assume this is New York, but not really sure. Here's a ride, Rush Hour. It looks like a Dodgems ride here in the middle of this square, but with the vehicles replaced by these sports cars and monster trucks. I think that's really cool. We can also see this these go-karts here. Looks like they're waiting for guests, and I assume they're just going to try and rush through these Dodgem vehicles. I think they have collision, but I think in a moment or so we will see what actually happens here. If these guests actually decide to leave. It just takes quite a long time. I assume this ride has been changed into a different ride type, yeah. So for a go-kart ride, if the ride type stays as go-karts, then they will just leave as soon as the ride is full. But if you change a go-kart ride to a different ride type, which is something which is often done to make a track invisible, then it usually takes ages for the ride to actually start once all the cars are filled. Ah, there they go. They don't actually have collision with these vehicles, so they just pass right through. But yeah, I assume they will just follow these streets. It looks like the guests actually also crossed the road right here. Yeah, pretty dangerous, but it is really fun. I guess this is this just shows the more casual style of the park, with not a big focus on realism, but just more on having fun stuff to look at in the park. You'll see a guy captured here in these webs. But yeah, really cool cityscape here. Also like this little scene over here. Ride the Rip Ride Rocket. So this part over here looks a little bit higher up. We can see another coaster here. This is some interesting vehicle design. Looks like some vehicles have been mixed. So bobsleigh vehicles mixed with some other vehicles to actually make it look like some sort of race cars. Wrist rocker. Oh, I think I know what this is supposed to. So I think there was this concept of a coaster which had the vehicle swing in between in between the bogies. So that's probably what this represents. So these parts are on the track, and these parts where the guests sit in, they rock in between them. I think it's a really cool concept. Not something I've really seen before in any park. I think it's a yeah, really fun idea. This park is just such full of such good ideas. Maybe I can use a few for Imagination Mega Park. Now here we see an RMC. This one's called Iron Tornado. Yeah, I think it's just your typical RMC coaster. So lots of airtime, lots of crazy banking, weird elements, and I really like it. I think it looks really impressive here. Now, here we have a station for a railroad. I assume this railroad travels through the entire park. You can see a bit over here. I also see some over here. Yeah, definitely travels all throughout the park. Even has a beautiful bridge here, which is obviously oh, it actually travels next to the bridge. But yeah, this is most likely the Golden Gate Bridge. Now let's see what else we have over here in the corner. This looks like a big conveyor belt. We can also see these boats travel up here. It's always nice to see people play around with this kind of stuff. I always love a good conveyor belt. So these boats travel down the hill here. Maybe they have a little bit too much downwards elevation here for a river rapids ride. Maybe could have been, yeah, could have meandered a little bit more. But still, it is really nicely decorated. Now over here we have a big canyon. So this must be the Grand Canyon part then. Not really sure, but it does look really cool. It's really nice to see all the layering of this coaster with these different tracks. And also all these canyon pieces are also really nice. So over here we have another coaster. Not really sure what kind of coaster. I think this is also launched up this spike here. Maybe some sort of launched Eurofighter, something like that. But yeah, I quite like how it sits here on the edge of the water. Now we have more coasters in the park. This looks like a junior coaster with a really long train. Some parks like Trips Drill, for example, also have a junior coaster with really long trains. So I guess this is that kind of model. Yeah, some fun and nice decoration here. Hollywood Tours. I guess this is Hollywood. Yeah, we can see these monster trucks traveling through several themed areas here, which is also pretty nice. I guess it travels through some studios here. Or we can see some decorations from different eras. Here's another big coaster, which sits here in the middle of the park. It has these blue trees. Not really sure what that's supposed to represent. Called Buzzsaw. Maybe it's supposed to represent nighttime. Not really sure, but I think it does look pretty cool. It's a more of a fantasy tree setting, I guess. But yeah, I think it looks really imposing. Also has this giant non-inverting loop. So it's nice to see. So yeah, just a big non-inverting giga coaster of sorts. Like I said, this park has way too much in it for me to cover everything in this video. I do really recommend you go and check out this park for yourself as well. You can find it in the Park Showcase channel on my Discord server, and you can find a link in the video description. Now I will once again list all the players who built in this park. This is an incredible park, and it's just really fun exploring it and seeing all the many cool tricks that were used in the creation of several of these rides. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.